Hello, this is Wesley Adams, June 26, 2021. Welcome to the Central Ohio Game Dev Group. This is Wesley Adams, June 26, 2000.
Yeah, you're good.
Ah.
Hey, everybody,
Well,
this is
I
Scott.
had I kind of stuttered for a sec because I heard myself again. Because we did some audio testing in the background and I had YouTube running and I'm like, oh shoot. So if you hear a little bleep, that's why. But yeah, welcome. This is the GameDev Meetup group. So you just hear our voices, and then alongside me, you might have heard him laughing, is Scott. He's helping me out today. So
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
so yeah. So
I say, how's it going? Like, you can reply to me and say, we're doing really well, Scott.
they can if they're on the YouTube chat channel. So if you're listening to this, feel free to chat with us anytime. Through there, if you have like an event notice or something that you think is like pertinent to the conversation, like or whatever, like we don't care. Just say hi. We love to hear everybody. Read everybody's message, I guess, is the more specific way in the chat channel. So feel free to.
And if you just want to say how much you like us, that's fine too.
How much do you like Scott? Do you like Scott more than Wes? No.
Or do you like Wes more than Scott?
we're gonna have a cog battle. So
Cog affection battle?
yes, exactly. Yeah. So cool.
Which pair do you like more, folks?
Yes. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna switch this over to some visual feed. All right. Hello. We're actually real people.
Yes.
At least I think
Not
so.
disembodied voices.
Hopefully we're not in a simulation, but hey, whatever. It's all the same. So, but yeah. Welcome to everybody who is able to make it. I actually saw a couple of folks, sign up for today that are new. So if you are new and you're checking us out, say hi in the chat channel. Just to kind of go a little bit over what we've seen today and what we're going to kind of be going over today is so our Game Dev Meetup is kind of our tried and true meetup for our COG group. We've had this ever since our inception. It's really just kind of a great way to get announcements and some presentations from you all. So today we're going to basically be strictly talking about announcements. We don't have any like crazy juggling presentations today, but that's okay, as we have a lot to kind of share and a lot of really good information. So stay tuned for that, but just to kind of go a little bit of our spiel today, if you're not familiar with the Central Ohio Game Dev Group, we're a collective group of gamers, game enthusiasts, game developers. This is our logo and our shirts. So we've been around for a while, probably for about 12 years now, I forget. But we just have fun. And as you've seen, like right now, if you're joining us online, that's because we still are, staying at home, so to speak, through, hopefully is the tail end of this. But we're happy to have everybody here. And we, also, are excited that we're kind of building our online presence too. So definitely a lot of really good stuff with that. So my background is I work with a local studio called Multivarious Games. So we've done a couple of different projects here and there, and are pretty engaged with the local community. And I've worked with the Game Expo that I know a lot of you are kind of wondering about. Um, but in general, we've done this Game Expo at the end of the year, near fall. So I kind of help with that. And then my day job is I'm a software developer, I guess you would say, a courseware developer for an e-learning company called CineMedia. So that's kind of my bread and butter, so to speak. Other than this, I love working here with all of you all in the Central Ohio Game Dev Group stuff. So this is kind of what we work on the side and love doing it. So, and then I'll pass it over to Scott. He can kind of talk a little bit about himself. So,
Really? I can talk about myself? I don't want to
yes,
do that.
yes, please do.
Put me on the spot. No, hey everybody. I'm sure you know the two of us pretty well, but if you are new, my name's Scott. Yeah, we've been helping out with the community for, as Wes said, a long time. Passionate about helping you guys do the best in your craft and get together, talk to each other. That's what we like to do. As a day job, I'm more on the programmer side. I am a software architect for the state of Ohio. But in the evenings, I've been building games as a hobby for, gosh, way too long. It's been a very long time. Yeah, mostly doing community work, helping you guys out.
Yeah, and we were just saying like Scott's looking into getting into audio too.
That's
So
true.
something.
Yeah, yeah. So I've done one thing that I've always liked about game development is that you can tinker with all aspects of a creative medium. The audio, the music, the art, the programming, the technology side. One thing I've never really crafted or really honed my craft on is music. So I was trying to get into that. But it's always been fun to do audio effects like mouse sounds with a mic, yeah, stuff like that.
We're starting an
So yeah,
ASMR YouTube channel session with Cog.
do I
Starts
have anything?
today.
Do I have anything crinkly? Any crinkly paper?
Crinkle. Oh no, they're driving away. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Sorry.
no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So, yeah, we're just going to kind of run through some of these notes. And what I would encourage everybody to do after our presentation today, we're going to catch up, after the show in our Discord channel. Um, so if you get a chance to kind of want to get to talk to us in person, that's a great way for us to kind of share and get to know one another, especially if you're new. Even if you're not new, obviously, we want to see everybody. But especially if you're new, please talk to us. We're happy to talk to new people, get them to know about what we do, because there might be something in here that either we or our group can help with if you're interested in learning more about the game dev community in Central Ohio. So let me go ahead and switch things over. Wonder if I can do this seamlessly. I feel like I'm sometimes
You're pro OS. You can
I
do this.
try. All right, everybody see that okay? Let me go ahead and okay.
Yep, you good.
Cool. All right. So this is us, kind of themed with a little bit of patriotism, I guess. Because 4th of July is coming up and all that good stuff. So it's June 26th, 2021. And back there is quite a few of us. This is actually I think this was during a global game jam event, and we had a bunch of folks there. If you're not familiar with game jams, they're a great way to do a game with people you know and people you don't know. You don't need game development experience for most of them, really. And then you basically spend like a weekend making a game, which is great because then you can take that and not worry about the repercussions of like spending, say, like, I don't know, 4 years, 5 years, or whatever, of like, hey, is this game going to work out? Oh, I don't know. So you just basically, whatever you can make in 48 hours, you're good to go. And a great learning experience. It's a lot of fun. You get to meet new people and maybe try something that you're not familiar with. Maybe like I know Scott was in our game jam beginning of this year for Global Game Jam, and he did audio, which was a lot of fun to see what he could make and all the good sound effects and whatnot. And then I don't know, did you do music too, Scott?
I did write a song, but we never put it in.
Hey, we still have the repository, so if you ever
Yeah,
want
we
to
do. Yeah, you're
work
right.
on that, I still want to add some more models to it, so 3D models.
Yeah.
So
The three of us, Caleb, you and I, we did say, hey, we want to get back to that, and we never did. Not
yeah,
yet, at least, but we will.
talking about Caleb. Caleb is another admin um, for today. He's actually I think on vacation right now. So, but you actually see him here at the bottom right corner above the dev text. He's the one with the beard and with a hand in his face. We got some people dabbing. But yeah, he's a great person too. So you'll see all three of us in Discord helping everybody out. So if you ever have any questions, um, Caleb, Scott, and my name is Wolf Gamer on there. I don't know why I haven't changed that. I probably should. But yeah, feel free to reach out to us, and we'll be happy to help answer any questions you have. So let me go and
I don't
move
know why I haven't changed
forward.
that.
I probably should. But all right. So I already kind of talked about what we are. We also do collaborate with a lot of different other groups like CCAD, Columbus State, OSU, and more. So those are different universities, but there's more than that. There's the Cleveland, or the Game Dev Group, which is actually what's called, their group is actually associated with the IGDA, or International Game Developer Association. Um, and they're a really great group to kind of get connected with and have more national or international connections as well. So I know that um, we've got good connections there. There's also the Cleveland Game Dev Group, which actually Scott was there for a while years back, helping out with them. They're a great group up north, and they have a lot of resources too. So definitely those groups. There's tons of them. There's Youngstown. There's Akron. There's all kinds of different locations too. So feel free to let us know if you're not central. Even if you're not, like we'd be happy to kind of connect you with more people, and maybe there's like a resource that you're looking for um, maybe just more devs. So we're happy to connect everybody together. So
Yeah, really quick for an example,
yeah,
we actually had, especially when we were doing in-person events, we have quite a few people from the Dayton area. And we know that's quite a drive. So if you are in Dayton, we can connect you to several people in the area that enjoy building games just like you.
yep,
Stuff
yep,
like that.
exactly. Yep. So and then we have a lot of new online resources. About over the year we've been doing this. I mean, obviously we've had to just because we're all online now. But we now have about 1,900 members at Meetup, 350 on Discord. Those numbers don't really matter. They're just kind of fun to see, just to kind of get a vibe of where we are. Um, and we're continuing to make efforts to kind of expand that. So we have different phases that we want to work with our website that we released this year. Um, of course, we're always happy to have different talks on Facebook. So a lot of times when we post stuff on Discord, we always try to post on our Facebook group, and that's got a lot of folks in there too. Or like sometimes I'll throw up jobs on there. We had one recently from Finji, so the folks that did Night in the Woods. They were looking for a 3D artist, so I'm always posting stuff that I can find. If you have things up there too, let us know. Like if you know there's an event coming up, or that there's a game that you want to post. We're very very adamant about that too. So if you have a game that either you or somebody else is marketing and promoting as a release, let us know and we'll share it in all our different avenues the best we can so that you can get as much exposure as possible. Um, so yeah, definitely check out those. Our Discord channel is a really great way to talk to us in real time. I am always, I always have Discord in the background when I'm working away. So if you talk to us there, one of us should be able to say hi. There's also like an introductions section there. There's a README about a lot more information too about who we are and what we have. So definitely check out Discord. It's a great way to talk to us in person, and we'd be happy to have you. So, and then our YouTube channel, which is really just for streaming events like this, and our new series, newish series, I would say, because it's been around for a while now, but our Let's Play series, where we actually have Caleb, who's been leading those, and basically we'll be playing games that you all vote for. So and they're usually based on a theme. So maybe it's one month we did JRPGs, another month we did like puzzle games or platformers or whatever. And then we'll ask you what kind of games do you like in that genre. And then we'll pick like some of the top ones and usually do one. Sometimes we'll do a couple depending on how easy they are to jump between them. But for the most part, it's basically a breakdown of those games and kind of what we thought was kind of unique or interesting about them. Um, and we'll talk more about that here in a sec. But yeah, that's kind of the basic get to know each other. So now I wanted to kind of present something very good information kind of coming through. So let me go ahead and move through the next slide about our different events because I know you're all kind of looking for that. So yeah, so I think the biggest thing is that we are looking to do a couple of in-person events. So this should be exciting news for everybody. I know that a lot of you have kind of been biting at the bit to kind of see everybody. So as you know, we actually work with a local co-working space called the Idea Foundry. So some of you are like, hey, how's that going? Or how things are turning up. So I've actually been meeting with them in person. Um, and they're excited to have us back. They definitely are. I think it's a lot because we bring in like some cool people also, but also like people are excited to see, hey, what's the game dev space in Ohio like, or in Columbus, or whatever. And that's where they are. We're actually the Idea Foundry. If you're familiar with Columbus, is right behind the Science Center at COSI. Um, and during the pandemic, just to kind of give you all kind of a breakdown, is they've been, kind of, abiding by social distancing and regulations, but we're able to kind of keep some of the small shops open, um, uh, but and be able to do a lot of that. But the co-working space and some of those floating spaces had to kind of be thoroughly maintained because obviously it's an open space, so they had to be able to clean and keep those regulated. But a lot of the offices that were separated anyways because of glass doors and everything, they were fine. So, most of those kind of abided by that. And then the downstairs wood shop areas and whatnot were fine too because most of the tables were far enough apart that it was never really a concern. So they did, okay for the most part, but a lot of the bigger events like ours and classrooms and just big shows and stuff, those all had to kind of go away. Um, since then, they just did an open house about a week or two ago, um, which seems like it went out pretty well. I actually helped them clean up and kind of dust things off, which was kind of fun to kind of get to talk to everybody. And then we were wondering, okay, so what's the next step? And their next step initially was is just basically starting up classes. A lot of those can be pretty small for the most part. So they were able to start doing that because they might have just a couple of people. And then now they're like looking to opening up more events. So now it's kind of like in our instance where we have the option to do that. Um, so I asked them, would you be interested in us doing, let's just say, Franklinton Fridays? So we are doing Franklinton Fridays, and this is kind of like our kind of jump start to us starting to open up. As they always been saying, I mean, I'm not trying to tailgate any campaign or anything, but the Responsible Restart initiative. So this is us trying to see how this works. So it sounds like what we're going to have currently is that there's actually, based on how things kind of shuffled around uh, in the Idea Foundry, we're going to still be on the second floor. So if you're familiar with that, we're going to be on the second floor, but it sounds like what we're going to be working to do, and I got to finalize this with our guys at the Idea Foundry, is that there's the co-working space that is kind of next to the grandstand, so where we usually do our game dev meetups, usually like this in person. They're going to have the desks on the side. So the sandbox area has a couple of new members and organizations using some of that space, which we could still use, but I don't want it to be uh, repressive in the sense that um, we wouldn't have enough space to do what we want to do. So we're going to go into, and some of you who has done Global Game Jam has used this space before, but it's another co-working space, like open tables with plenty of outlets and whatnot. We'd have access to the kitchen to any food, which we'll talk about here in a sec. Um, and then what we'll do is kind of sit in those spaces there. And then there's going to be, I think there's like a gallery show going on that Franklinton Fridays. And so if you're not familiar with Franklinton Fridays, it's kind of a neat event where all different people in Franklinton can kind of show their wares and their events and their, usually it's their craft, but sometimes it's just like, hey, here's what our people do, or here's a cool event. So for us, we've always been there just to kind of have the ability to do prototype and play, which is a way for us to show off our games, which is really important, right? Because a lot of times we're halfway through a game or just starting a game, we need feedback as developers. So it's good for us to present as a developer, but also for you to come and see what our group is doing, right? So even if you're not a developer, we highly encourage you to come to these events. Um, and we were doing these online before, so a lot of you have done a stellar job with that. And we're working out the details of that because I know a lot of you can't necessarily come to in-person events. So we'll be reaching out to all of you who are especially heavily involved in the online prototype and play and working out different ideas we've actually been having in our admin meetings about how we can kind of continue that flow because we want to make sure that we kind of outreach and support everybody both from an online standpoint and an in-person standpoint as we start to transition. It might be a little bit rocky at first, but obviously like we're trying new things and we're also trying to still abide by state and local federal guidelines. So like please bear with us as we switch through. And we should be able to get a lot of things kind of figured out as my cat steps on my keyboard. Okay, come on. Sorry. Um, so anyways, so that's what we're going to do is our first event is Prototype and Play, which is at the Idea Foundry, second Friday of the month, July 9th, and that's from 6 to 9 p.m. So we're going to provide food there and drinks. What we're still working out the details of keeping it separated and all that good stuff because we want to make sure that there's no obviously cross contamination is always a thing, but just in general that if people coming in and they're all good to go. Um, we want to make sure we're abiding by just keeping everything clean so there isn't any other outbreaks or anything like that. So what we're doing as our own proactive mandate for our team, so Scott, Caleb, and myself, is we are going to be coming in with masks. We won't require anybody to wear masks, especially for those who are vaccinated. But please be sure that if you want to, we will have the supplies there for you. So don't feel obligated to, don't feel obligated not. It's just up to you. It's your decision. But we will be working and encouraging you too as well to continue social distancing, hand washing, contact cleaning. So if you have devices, like we'll be working to have things there for you to clean off, like laptops and iPads and all that good stuff. So we will be abiding by these just by default, and we probably will for a while, but we'll see how that goes. But for the most part, like we're not requiring anybody, the state's not requiring anybody necessarily. So please, if you are vaccinated, feel free to do what you think is best. And then if you're not, please do highly consider wearing a mask. Because we want to make sure that, I mean, as a public event, we want to make sure everybody is taken care of, that they're doing well, and that everybody's having a good time. So we're trying again, doing this as a kind of ramp up to hopefully what will be more in-person events. So please do your best to kind of consider others, and then we'll be happy to kind of make adjustments and arrangements as we kind of go through. So cool. So that's the first event. And then we have our Let's Play, which this is actually really a special event too. Our Let's Play again is with Caleb, and this month we're doing um, it's always going to be an online event, streaming from Caleb's place, essentially. And this month is going to be COG games. So this will be every third Sunday of the month. So this time it lands on July 18th from 2 to 4 p.m. And what we're encouraging people to do is in Discord, we're going to be encouraging folks to um, post their favorite COG game. So we kind of want to make it about you guys instead of doing a theme where it's like, mystery game or something like that. We want you to post your favorite game, and that could be your game. It could be somebody else's game. If they're in COG, if you're on this meeting and you've been to meetings in the past, and in general, if you find us, like feel free to post your game, and we're gonna set it up for a vote and let everybody have fun. If we can do more games, we will. I think it just depends on what we get, and then but for the most part, we're gonna let you vote, find a game that we want to present, and talk about that. Kind of like what we did with the pedestrian, although that was more of like I think that was a puzzle game or a platformer game. I can't remember. So it's a little bit of both. But either way, we've done that one, for example. Let's try to do a new one for sure. There's a couple of them that we have in mind, and I know a lot of you, since we've been working online, um, a lot of you have actually released games. So there's a lot of these cool ones coming out that, I mean, obviously they're all really cool, but we're working through like some of these titles that have been pushed out earlier or even in the past, and we want to see again. Like, please post your games, and we'd be happy to go through it and put it up for a vote. Um, so yeah, look forward to that. And then our GameDev Meetup is our last event of the month, and this one's a little special too, right? These are all like really special events because we're not doing an event like this online, and we're not doing what we normally do when we were to be in person, which was go to the Idea Foundry and do presentations there. We just want you all to have a chance to talk to each other. It's been a long time for a lot of us, So what we're gonna do is a what we've been calling like our game dev or cog field trips. So this is an in-person event. This is kind of come and go as you please, and it's at Level One Bar Arcade. Um, yeah, so this will be the last Saturday of the month. So this will be July 31st from 2 to 5 p.m. So yeah, if everything goes well, this is kind of a neat little event that we felt comfortable that allowed everybody to kind of be in an atmosphere where it's like a bunch of basically, excuse me, if you've never been to a bar arcade, don't call it barcade because apparently that's trademarked. But bar arcade, so it's basically a bunch of like retro, um, 8-bit games and table and sometimes they have like some platforms like Dreamcast or Nintendo 64 is just kind of lined up on a projector. And also in this one they have pinball machines. So lots of pinball machines, and then they also have a bar, obviously. So they have sometimes themed drinks or whatever. So it's a lot of fun. And usually what we do is we kind of meander around, or there's usually a table that we go to. So feel free to come in. We're gonna have this a little bit later than our normal meetup on the last Saturday of the month, which will be from 2 to 5 p.m. So that if you want to come and go as you please, you can. And then at 5 o'clock, if you wanted to eat anywhere, there's a couple of restaurants around the area. There's a movie theater if you really want to, right next door. So that'll be in the kind of Marcus area, off of like 270 and Campus View, so 270 North side. So yeah, lots of fun there. Excited to see everybody. And yeah, just no real requirements. Just come and go as you please, and just have a lot of fun and get to catch up with people. See how people have been doing. So cool. All right. Do we have anything else before I kind of move through, Scott? That
No, I think you got everything. Just want to stress that, we are doing this as a trial run to see if we can do this with your safety and comfort in mind,
mhm.
right? So we'll see how this month goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you got everything covered.
Cool. Yeah, and I know that some of you are kind of wondering later down the line, as we get more information, we'll announce, but there isn't any new information quite yet for GDEX. There's a couple of things that I can't announce, but just know that we're working on things for sure. And as soon as those become apparent, we'll let you know. I know there's a lot of things like I know we actually had a member who was talking about what was that retro game convention? Uh,
Oh, yeah, Korgs or
Yeah, Corgs.
um,
Corgs is official, and if you're interested, I forgot to even put that on here. I get an email all the time, like I think like every 2 months or something like that. So, he says Corgs Con, as he puts it, is 4 months away in 1 week. So it is. Let me see. Uh, well, they say that, but then I don't know what that date is. Oh, here we go. Okay, it is October 23rd from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. one day. So they've been kind of doing a neat thing there, and that's going to be at the
it's a big run sports complex. I'm not too sure where
yeah,
that is.
it's 4205 Climb Road, Columbus, Ohio 43228.
Right. If you just Google Corgs Con, that's Corgs Con, you'll
Yeah,
find it.
yeah, that's a cool one too. It's really kind of almost like a like a almost like a curated like neat like collaboration of a lot of different vendors that are just really into retro games. So it's a really cool convention to go to if you get a chance to. And I know they're really passionate about like keeping like these old games alive and just kind of showcasing what's still out there. So it's a lot of fun. So if you definitely get the chance to, that's October 23rd. Mark that in your calendars because I know it's been a long time since they've been wanting to do it. So now I think they've officiated that they're going to be doing it that time. So lots of fun there.
Probably a probably a good half of my collection has come from Corgs Con.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Like have your game collection or have your retro game collection?
And half of my retro game collection.
I was like, ooh, it's got some big retro guy. Yeah, we got a couple of retro
I
folks here
am,
too.
yeah.
So, but okay, cool. Looks like somebody said there's also Torg, which
Yep.
will be in the Lewis Center around the September. Yeah, so there's a lot of these popping up. I know. I feel like PAX has made it official that their September event will be going forward. But yeah, so for the most part, like I think there's a lot of these starting to open up in the fall as things start working through. So, but yeah, I think the more that people can, I think we're ramping up. I think this is exciting new, but the more that people can like social distance and for those of you, and I'm not trying to make it political, but if you can get vaccinated, great. If you haven't already, please do.
We
If
encourage it.
Yeah, we encourage it. Obviously, we're not enforcing this on anybody, but
Right.
um,
That's
y-
very true.
but yeah, we think of it from like you know anybody coming in to our groups or whatever. We want to make sure everybody is safe, no matter what the case, best we can, right? Not that it's like we're required, but we just want to make sure everybody has a good time. So, but anyways, yeah, good stuff. I think what's really exciting is that it looks like things are doing well. So I think that there's a lot of really good stuff to come, right? So keep on the post on that, and we'll keep moving forward. Um, so I'm gonna move to the last thing. So let's see. Yeah. So we've got our announcements today. Like I mentioned, we didn't have really any big presentations today, but that's okay.
That's
If you
okay
do have
because
a
we had some
presentation,
big announcements.
oh yeah, yeah, most of it
Yeah.
was just big announcements really, because I know it's kind of a big thing to kind of talk about us in our future events because it's been a while. But yeah, so we have um, yeah, so if you ever want to present, let us know in our meetup page, or you can just message us on Discord. I mean, message us anywhere really. If you want to present during a COG meetup like this, next month obviously we're going to have a field trip, so we won't have a presentation that time. But if you want to present, we don't know if it's going to be in person yet or online. We will let you know as soon as possible for August. It's a ways away from now, so we're not confirming anything just yet. But if you are interested, either at our game dev meetup like this or our prototype and play, let us know. Um, Most of the time, we usually do our best to make sure that if you want to present something game dev related, we'll do our best to get you in there. But if you can let us know ahead of time, we'll always work to prepare you, right? Sometimes it gets a little bit more complicated if it's something like, hey, we're doing like something on the iPad or VR or something like that. We got to get some technical things worked out. It just helps us out if you can let us know earlier. But
Hey, Wes,
yeah,
I've got a common question for you. If I want to participate in COG, or if I want to do a presentation on the main Saturdays or for prototype and plays, do I need any special skills or talents or any special equipment to do so?
no, not
Yeah.
necessarily.
Oh,
No, I mean,
I love your short answer. No.
no, yeah, and that's the thing
It is so
too.
true.
Even to participate, you don't need game development experience. Absolutely not. No, we want
Right.
everybody to participate. Um, I would say if we are doing online events, make sure that you have hopefully just a mic and the ability to stream your desktop, I suppose. Like sometimes, internet might be a little bit of issue, but we work to test all that out beforehand. So if there is anything, you don't need any like a powerhouse computer or anything like that. But we like to
But
test that stuff out.
we get that question more often than you would think of, and it makes perfect sense. So, humans are human. They just are people are intimidated when they are standing in front of a group of people and it's like, hey, do I need a certain talent, or do I need to be involved in a certain way? Do I have to have my game to a certain level and before showing it off? And the answer is absolutely no. We all love every aspect of game development. We love talking about it. We love seeing what you guys have. And we also run a very open community where anybody who has any level of interest in game development is welcome to come and participate.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Exactly. Yeah. And we're here to help you too. So if you're not sure if you can, just let us know. We probably done it thousands of times before, so we'll work to
Yep.
make sure it works out. But yeah, this is a good question, and we encourage it too. I know we encourage folks if they want to be a part of the Let's Plays. So usually it's like Scott and or I with Caleb, but if you want to be a part of those, we'd love to have you.
Absolutely.
It is a live stream, so you'd be there with Caleb playing through the games, maybe playing with him, but kind of giving feedback and just giving your 2 cents. Even if you don't know anything about games, we'd love to hear it because we want to see what everybody's impressions of different games are, even from like you know a non-gamer perspective necessarily. So, and then yeah, there's the GameDev Meetup, which you can be a part of if you want to present. And then there's also the prototype and play, which you can showcase your game there. So yeah, there's plenty of ways to get involved. And that's all we're doing. We just want to get people involved best we can. So, um, but yeah. Anything else I missed, Scott, that you can think of?
No, just what's happening after the stream today.
Yeah. Yep. So after the stream today, we're gonna go back into our Discord. Do you have that link, Scott, that you can post
Oh, I
in the
can
chat
post it. Yeah,
channel?
let me grab it.
Okay. So we're gonna post a Discord link in there. There's a general voice channel. So if you're, interested in talking with us and getting to know us, we're going to kind of chat in there for a while. And then, as an icebreaker question, we always have a question of the month. To this month is what's the most off the wall patriotic game you've ever played and why? Um, doesn't have to be that, but this is kind of something fun to kind of start with. So, but yeah, if you've got something, if you're like new to the group, please do join us. We'd love to say hi, and you can stay as long as you want. We'll see how far it goes. We might stay till 4. That's usually just about the time that I think that's our cutoff in some instance, but we may chime out a little bit earlier, just depending on how things are going. But definitely say hi. We'd love to talk. And then yeah, depending on how it goes, we could play a game. If you guys want to play something like I don't know Among Us or something like that, maybe we can set something up. We've got our Discord channel that can accommodate that stuff. So if you're interested, we can go into that. But otherwise, I think that's all we got today. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of go back to us. But yeah, that's all we have for today, I think. I think that's what we wanted to do for July's showcase. So we want to thank everybody for stopping by. I know it's a little bit of a short one today, but that's okay because I think there's a lot to kind of pull from this. Um, if you have people that are looking to go back in person and you want to let them know more about like us kind of at least doing like the prototype and play and the cog field trip at the end of the month next month, those would be exciting news. So definitely share that with folks, let them know about it. You can see more of our events on our website at thecog.com. There's our event page with all that good information, as well as our meetup page, which is connected to that too. So if you have any questions at all, let us know. Otherwise, we're going to call it today, and then we'll see you all in the Discord chat. So thanks everybody for stopping by. This is Wesley, that's Scott, and we'll catch you guys next time. All right,
See you in a bit.
everybody, have a great weekend.